For the majority of people, freelancing can feel like an endless grind that's literally going nowhere, just stuck in the same loop of low paying gigs, unpredictable clients, and never enough time to actually scale. Now the good news is you're not lazy and you're not bad at what you do. You just haven't been shown the ladder successful freelancers climb to get from zero to consistent 10K plus months. Now it's not magic and it's not luck. It's a series of steps, strategic ones, that most people miss. And I call it the gain ladder. And if you understand it, you'll know exactly what to do next, no matter where you are right now. And that's why in this video, I'm going to be breaking it all down. I'm going to break down why most freelancers stay stuck, the 4 phases that lead to real freedom, and the mindset and tactical shifts that help me and others break into consistent 5-figure months. And hey, if you want hands-on guidance while climbing this ladder, then I've got a 14-day Freelancer Accelerator program that walks you through each phase with tools, systems, and personalized support. Links in the description. Now, let's get into it. Alright, this is where it all begins. The grind phase is where most freelancers live, and unfortunately it's also where most of them get stuck. So, you're doing the work, taking whatever jobs you can find, Fiverr gigs, Upwork proposals, DMing strangers on Instagram, anything to land you that next client, and you're charging $50 here, $100 there, and it feels like you're running on a treadmill that's quite literally going nowhere. Now, here's the truth most people won't tell you. The fact is, you'll likely work harder in this stage than in any other point during this journey and get paid the least. But this is also normal while you find your footing and build momentum. Now, it doesn't mean that you're failing. This stage isn't about making big money. It's about learning the terrain and finding your unique angle. Think of it like going to the gym. After a long break, you're building freelancer muscle, communication, delivery, negotiation, confidence. Too many people want overnight success without that grind. And unfortunately for 99.9% of people, it's just not possible. Now, when I started on Fiverr, I launched free gigs. And the one thing I didn't do was wait. Instead, I literally became obsessed. I studied top-rated sellers in my niche to see what they were doing that I wasn't. And these were the things like better gig images, more specific titles, clearer value, and most importantly, credibility. That's the process that you should be going through if you're just starting. But like everything, this will come down to how hungry you are for success. Now, in this stage of grinding, your only job is to build credibility, get reviews, and get results. Even if you have to over-deliver and undercharge, as long as it's strategic. Because what you learn during this phase sets the foundation for everything else. And once you start gaining some good reviews, that's the moment the Fiverr algorithm will start trusting you. And that's how the momentum begins. And if you remember anything from this video, remember this, as this is something that I get asked all the time. But Chris, why is my gig only getting 80 impressions? And Chris, I only got 3 clicks last week. Chris, I got 50 clicks yesterday, but no orders? Impressions, clicks, and orders are the most logical and easy to understand things there is. Impressions are how many people notice your gig when they scroll past it. Generally, you won't really be able to have much impact on this stat, other than how you position your gig within whichever category it's in. This is mostly down to the Fiverr algorithm and your ranking, unless you pay extra for Fiverr ads. Clicks. Now this is something you can control, and it's all about the first 3 things that somebody sees. Your thumbnail, title, and price. Now if you're getting high impressions but low clicks, then you're gonna wanna fix these 3 things. Next is orders, and again, this is something you can control. If your conversions are low or just non-existent, then it's because your gig is not doing the job that it's meant to be doing, and you need to put more effort into making a gig that will convert. All of this is not magic or guesswork, it's logical, which means you can control it. Now, Once you've done a few jobs and you know your process, it's time to step it up a gear and enter phase 2, which I call align. This is where you transition from freelancer for hire to strategic service provider. You're no longer taking every project that comes your way. You're starting to say, who do I want to work with? What results can I consistently deliver? And how do I make it easy for clients to say yes? This stage is all about clarity and positioning. So first, let me show you what misalignment looks like. And it could be a designer offering logos, websites, banners, thumbnails, and ebooks. A writer saying, I can write anything you need. A video editor targeting gym owners, vloggers, and SaaS companies all at once. All of this is noise. It confuses clients, dilutes your authority, and keeps your prices low. Alignment is going to be your focus, and I've actually got a small example for you from a great guy who pretty much watches every single one of my videos, so I know he'll be watching now, and I'm hoping he's gonna take away something from this. Now, this is Isaac, and I'm not gonna dive in too much, but I wanna show you one big red flag. Now, Isaac is a great guy. He's been on Fiverr for a little while now, level 2. But if we actually scroll down to his gigs, we can see straight away what Isaac's problem really is. It's the fact that he is no authority in one specific niche. Over here, he'll be your reliable and personal virtual assistant. Here, he'll manage your calendar and email inbox. Again, virtual assistant for web research. But over here, he goes into UGC videos and he'll create videos. Then down here, again, he'll be your assistant. So the situation with Isaac is that he's very much focused on the assistant. So stay on the assistant. Don't branch into UGC videos. I think Isaac sees it as this is an up and coming trend right now, which you can make good money in, which is great. If that's what he wants to do, then he needs to position himself as a UGC creator. But he's going in the assistant role with most of these. And that's exactly where he should stay. And he should build his authority in being a fantastic assistant. Now, obviously, we can see straight away when we go back to the impressions, the clicks, and the orders, we can see that his thumbnails are lacking. He does have thumbnails, but he hasn't positioned them in the right way. He's added videos to every single gig, which is fantastic. But there's no thumbnails here. And this is something that he really needs to do. If we actually click onto one of his gigs, we can actually see that he does have a thumbnail. And to be honest, he's put a lot of work into the thumbnail. It looks half decent, but he's made one massive error by not adding the thumbnail into his actual video and then freezing the frame on the thumbnail. So otherwise, all clients are just going to see him with his mouth half open during one of these videos, which doesn't look great. So Isaac, if you are watching, become an authority. You're already level 2, which is fantastic, but become an authority in something. And the fact is, Isaac speaks both English and Spanish. I think he's more confident in Spanish, and the Spanish market is huge. There are more Spanish speakers in the world than there are English speakers. So if I was Isaac, and for example, the UGC content, I wasn't confident in English or speaking to the camera in English, I would purely just aim for the Spanish market, because there will be plenty of work there for Isaac to take advantage of. So when it comes down to your positioning and titles, remember that you're not just a UGC creator or a copywriter. Instead, you need to say things like, I help e-commerce brands write email flows that convert abandoned carts into revenue. You see, with just a few extra words, you can actually see the difference. It's now specific, it speaks to a problem, and clients will now pay more for someone who gets it. So, what do you do in this stage? Well, first, you need to niche down by industry or by outcome. So like Isaac, he needs to niche down hard in exactly what he is offering. Then, productize your services into clear offers. Package A, Package B, and Package C. Now, after that, you can actually start raising your prices with more confidence because you know what you're offering. And finally, use a proven onboarding flow. Now, this will make your working process a lot smoother and make the client feel valued and taken care of. Now, The power of alignment is the power of you finally getting a grip of your services, and we could say the first proper step to becoming a decent, well-paid freelancer. Alright, in phase 3 is where the magic starts to happen. This is the point where people start reaching out to you and not the other way around. Your presence starts doing the selling for you, and before you know it, you're overwhelmed with an influx of messages from potential clients every day. Right now, you're not just delivering projects, you're becoming known, and even in a sea of tens of thousands of other freelancers, becoming known is more than possible. And here's how. First, you start sharing content and take the step to really create a brand. You start publishing on LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, or YouTube. Find the platform that's going to work for you best. Now, you either talk about your niche, share results, teach, document, storytell, whichever direction you want to go in. Just think about who you're targeting and go from there. Then you build a portfolio with context. Rather than just uploading a pretty screenshot or a short video, start explaining the challenge that you were faced with, your approach, and the result. Clients want to see the workings behind what you did and not just the output. And finally, you leverage social proof and case studies. Get testimonials, screenshots of Slack messages, client wins, and even results like we increased their landing page conversions by 42% in 3 weeks. That's basically the context of what influence looks like. And on platforms like Fiverr, you can still do this. Use your gig FAQs to add authority. Use the gig video to show your face, your process, your thinking, and even create and upload PDF documents which potential clients can look through. Now, when I started doing this, even in a subtle way, it took me from being just any old freelancer to someone clients trusted. And most of this is really just about branding and how you make your business look, because that's the goal. When a client trusts you before they've met you, that's when you can raise your prices without any pushback. And this is one of the formulas I teach inside the Accelerator program. Content plus proof equals authority. And authority is what leads to inbound leads and premium pricing. And now we reach the final level of the gain ladder, which is the next level. Now, this is the point where you've proven your offer, built demand, and maxed out your calendar. The question now becomes, how do I grow without burning out? And at this point, it's where you shift from being a worker to being a builder. Next level freelancers don't ask, how do I work more? They ask, how do I turn this service into a system? How do I productize this into a package that runs on autopilot? How can I bring in support so that I'm not the bottleneck? Some good examples are things like templates and SOPs. So instead of building every client project from scratch, you use proven systems. Think onboarding forms, revision checklists, delivery frameworks. Then you productize offers, meaning no more endless back and forth, just here's the package, here's what's included, here's the price. Then delegation. Hire a junior editor if you need to, a VA, a writer. Free up your time to focus on sales, brand, or new ventures. And recurring revenue. Turn one-off projects into retainers. Offer monthly maintenance, content packages, reporting services, you name it. Anything you can turn into a monthly retainer, do it. And once you're here at this stage, your options open up even further as your knowledge is now valuable. And I'm talking courses, digital products, partnerships, coaching, you name it. The opportunities outside of just freelancing are never ending. And that's all thanks to you completing 4 simple phases. All right, now let's bring it all together. The gain ladder is your roadmap to high-level freelancing. The grind is where you learn the game, get proof, and build momentum. Aligning is all about focusing your offer, build positioning, and raise prices. The influence builds authority, attracts clients, and creates demand. And finally, the next level is where you systemize, scale, and turn your skill into a business. But let's be serious real quick. Understanding that you don't climb all 4 steps in a week is something that you need to wrap your head around first. However, When you know the path, it means that you can actually stop guessing your way through. So here's what I want you to do. Comment below which phase you're in right now and what's holding you back. And I'm going to send you a link to join my free community of over 200 other Fiverr freelancers who are all getting advice that they need and are grinding hard. And if you're serious about moving up this ladder fast within 2 weeks, then you're going to want to join my 14-day Freelancer Accelerator program, where you get my undivided attention and one-on-one calls. We break down each phase, give you exact advice as to what you need to change and implement, templates and guidance to grow from stuck to scalable. However, it is built for action takers who are going to give it 100% for 2 weeks straight, as you can literally transform your freelance career in that period of time. Links in the description.